What are the most common annoying questions that people ask you?
If one goes to jail, does the other one have to sit in jail too, or what happens? I don't know. Never been to jail.
I guess the biggest thing is a lot of people like to reduce us down to just body parts. When they refer to us, it's more of a, so if one head does one thing, what happens to the other head kind of thing, instead of
using our names.
Using our names, it's just more of a dehumanizing, if that makes any sense.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am your host, JLW, and this is The Bigger Question.
Was there an option of separation?
So our parents tried to find doctors that can, but we finally got a final answer of no when we were 4 years old.
And if they tried to separate us, either one of us would pass away, both of us could pass away, or we wouldn't never leave the hospital type of thing from needing so many either transplants or other medical procedures and things like that to stay alive.
Is there a scenario where AI could be used for good?
Mercy and Goodness were born 3 years ago in Nigeria, according to UK charity Gemini Untwined. Their skulls fused together, their brain tissue intertwined, and their blood vessels connected. This made the prospect of any surgery to separate them incredibly complex.
What we're looking at here are two babies, two little girls that have been given the chance to live normal lives. Hell, the chance to live, period.
Doctors say AI was used to design custom skull implants, something that had never been done before in a Craniopagus twin separation, and to model how the twin skin could be gradually expanded ahead of the final operation.
I want to turn here to people where they say twins conjoined at the head, separated after 40 hours of AI-assisted surgery and landmark procedure. Twin sisters conjoined at the head have been separated using pioneering artificial intelligence techniques. Mercy and Goodness were born in Nigeria in June 2023 with fused skulls, shared brain tissue, and blood vessels. When they were 6 months old, they were referred to the UK charity Gemini Untwined, which focuses on Craniopagus twins. Now we're going to turn here to the National Library of Medicine, where they're going to give us further information on the types of conjoined twins that exist. The types that still exist to this day, but were defined as early back as the early 1800s by a French zoologist by the name of Isidore Geoffroy Saint Hilaire. Isidore Geoffroy Saint Hilaire was the first teratologist, which is a medical professional who specializes in studying birth defects or deformities. Many of his terms are still in use today. The most common occurring types of conjoined twins include Craniopagus, joined at the cranium, Thoracopagus, and please, if you are a medical professional, correct me where I am wrong, which are twins joined at the thoracic cavity, also known as the chest. Omphalopagus, what the hell? This one I'm definitely going to butcher. Omphalopagus, or Xiphopagus, joined in the region of the umbilicus. Ischiopagus, joined at the inferior margins of the coccyx and sacrum, which I believe is somewhere near your groin. And then we also have Pygopagus, which is joined at the lateral and posterior surfaces of the coccyx and sacrum, which I believe would be your butt.
Twinning is somewhat rare in our species. Only about 3% of live births involve multiple fetuses. Most of these are dizygotic, or what's commonly called fraternal twins. They occur when a person just so happens to release 2 eggs instead of 1, both of which get fertilized and successfully implant. A smaller percentage of twins are monozygotic, or identical twins. Those are the twins that share essentially all of their DNA because they come from a single fertilized egg, which later split into 2.
I just now found out from doing research on this article that the first conjoined twins that we have on record were looked at as abominations, as punishments from God or the devil. And this is from the North Carolina Department of Natural and Cultural Resources, because this is where these twins eventually settled down and died. But Ang and Chang Bunker were the first conjoined twins to receive worldwide renown. They were born in Meklong, a fishing village in Siam. These are also the twins that we get the term Siamese twins from, which I don't actually know if we're still allowed to say. These twins, whose nationality became the name for the birth defect, were completely normal except for a thick band of skin that connected them at the chest. And as we just learned, that is thoracopagic. Is it thoracopagic? Was I close? I'm not even gonna look. You all tell me if I was close. Their abnormality initially horrified villagers. They gradually gained acceptance within their community and raised ducks to support their family. In April 1829, New England sea captain Abel Coffin and Scottish trader Robert Hunter, having heard stories of the twins, convinced them to come to America with them. Now, eventually, these two twins did find love. They married two sisters named Adelaide and Sarah Yates. The couple were married on April 13th, 1843, and eventually they had 11 children. I believe they actually had 21, but only 11 survived, which was a great thing because eventually these two brothers went on to tour again to get more money, and they would take their children with them, and people would come and stare and gawk. But in particular, it kind of reshaped how people thought about twins, because remember, we're still coming off the basis of you did something wrong to anger God, or some people would believe the woman did something wrong. She either witnessed something that was so traumatic that her kids formed together, or she did something in her life that she was being punished. But seeing twins have normal children, or let me not say the word normal, but children without the same kind of genetic defects, made people go, oh, they're just humans who are suffering from something.
What time are you two graduating?
9. I'm graduating at 9 o'clock.
Both of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like maybe I'll graduate at 4, but I'm not sure yet. Did you know that we're conjoined?
No, you knocked that off right now. You're what?
We're conjoined.
No.
Did you know that?
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Now, the history of separating said twins is also long, and I encourage you to look into it because it is fascinating stuff. What you see, though, is that a lot of medical professionals did not want to touch separating twins for a multitude of reasons. One, as I said, there was a lot of superstition surrounding conjoined twins, so people didn't want to mess with that. Two, there simply wasn't the technology available to successfully separate two human beings without killing one or both.
Abby and Aaron were the third set of conjoined twins that Dr. Taylor and Dr. Hoyer have separated.
So if I had a wish, it would be that we could start our process of changing the connection between the twins in utero, where there's immensely more plasticity to the brain and the soft tissues.
If you could sneak into the womb with some endoscopes and put a rubber band in between the area of connection, and that rubber band had just enough force to not exceed the perfusion pressure of the tissues, but at the same time begin to constrict that connectivity. To me, that something like that is going to be the ultimate answer to this problem.
Now, from what I am seeing, there's only been something like 9 successful Craniopagus surgeries where the children actually lived afterward. And to understand how rare this is, I want to turn here to the website Great Ormond Street Hospital for Children, and they provide stats like this about Craniopagus twins. 1, conjoined twins are very rare, only 1 in every 2.5 million births. Only 5% of conjoined twins are Craniopagus. Only 30% of Craniopagus twins are boys. About 40% of twins fused at the head are stillborn or die during labor. A further third die within 24 hours. I say these stats to say this. These are incredibly rare children, or I should say these are incredibly rare conditions that these children are facing. The fact that they are even alive is literally a miracle. The odds say that these two girls should not have a life.
Doctors say AI was used to design custom skull implants, something that had never been done before in a Craniopagus twin separation, and to model how the twin skin could be gradually expanded ahead of the final operation.
More than 60 healthcare professionals across the UAE, UK, Nigeria, and Brazil worked to separate the twins. As only the 9th ever separation of Craniopagus twins, it took more than 40 hours of operating time in total. with the final surgery lasting 12 hours.
And the surgeries were a huge success. The girls are now back home in Nigeria after making a full recovery.
Now, outside of being happy for Mercy and Goodness and this family, which I really, really, truly am, because they are literal walking miracles, this to me is one of the few times that you hear me come out and champion AI and say that I can see the utopia that could be built if this is in the right hands, if AI is used in the right hands, if it is literally given to the people, not to undermine and replace, but to support. You can see that there is true, real benefit to the human species. We're talking about something that should not be possible. Two girls conjoined not just in bone structure, but in literal brain are now walking around as being reported relatively normal. Now, they have a long and painful road ahead of recovery, but it's still the best shot they've had in life. So it is literally a modern miracle. 9 times is what we're facing. 9 times has somebody successfully been separated in a Craniopagus condition. Miracles, and in part thanks to AI. I see the show, like the Alien show that just appeared on Hulu that was really good. I look at the boy genius, and I think there's a lot more people who operate under what he thinks AI should be used for, what he thinks digital consciousness is best for, than people who have this kind of utopia in mind, who have this humanitarian approach to it. I could be wrong, and I hope I am. But either way, I'm happy to see this story. I feel like the story needs to be talked about and spread. AI used for good. You all got to let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on this case, on these children, on the introduction of AI, on this multinational effort, whatever it is that comes to your mind. If it's just about the categories of conjoined twins, whatever it is, let me know in the comment sections below. I was your host, JLW, and I will holler at you all later.
Mm-hmm.